What's going on, Investomaniacs? Your boy Knight Rider here, and today we're going to be talking about Tesla, Microsoft, and OpenAI. A little bit of just kind of a little bit of an Elon Musk video in conjunction with Tesla. So a couple days ago, OpenAI forms exclusive computing partnership with Microsoft to build a new Azure AI supercomputing technologies. Now, OpenAI is a private company, but if you want to have exposure to OpenAI, Microsoft is now your obvious choice. Obviously, Microsoft is a massive company, but it's really one of the only options you have if you want to be involved in OpenAI, which obviously one of the founders of that is Elon Musk. We'll get into how that affects Tesla in a little bit, but I like Microsoft as it is. I think Microsoft is a great investment. So if you are looking for a decent investment with a decent growth rate that's still relatively stable and safe, but you want a little bit of afterburners on there, a little bit of fun stuff to look forward to, I think Microsoft is now an even better option because you have this added on partnership with OpenAI. An investment of $1 billion from Microsoft will focus on building a platform that OpenAI will use to create new AI technologies and deliver on the promise of artificial general intelligence. And that word general is really the difference here. Thus far, all of our AI has been narrow AI, and OpenAI, in conjunction with Microsoft, this partnership, they're trying to create a general artificial intelligence. Some key points: Microsoft and OpenAI will jointly build new Azure AI supercomputing technologies. Azure is Microsoft's cloud computing platform that competes with Amazon's AWS, Amazon Web Services. And if this works out, it could certainly help propel Microsoft Azure even further in that cloud space and help them compete even more with AWS. Who knows, maybe even overtake AWS. OpenAI will port its services to run on Microsoft Azure, which it will use to create new AI technologies and deliver on the promise of artificial general intelligence. Microsoft will become OpenAI's preferred partner for commercializing new AI technologies, which, again, this is, depending upon how you view it, I mean, it's probably a relatively low percentage that this will pan out in terms of creating an artificial general intelligence that can be commercialized, at least in the next couple of years. But if that does happen, even if it is in the out years, if it happens, and if OpenAI is the first company to do that, that could be massive for Microsoft with this partnership. The companies will focus on building a computational platform in Azure of unprecedented scale, which will train and run increasingly advanced AI models. That was coming from Microsoft's press release. And now we'll take a quote or two from OpenAI's press release on this same thing. Each year since 2012, the world has seen a new step function advance in AI capabilities. Though these advances are across very different fields like vision in 2012, simple video games in 2013, machine translation 2014, complex board games 2015, speech synthesis 2016, image generation 2017, robotic control 2018, and writing text in 2019, they are all powered by the same approach: innovative applications of deep neural networks coupled with increasing computational power. But AI system building today involves a lot of manual engineering for each well-defined task, as opposed to AGI. It says here, a system capable of mastering a field of study to the world expert level and mastering more fields than any one human. And this is supposed to do it without a whole lot of kind of complex manual engineering, kind of as is the case in the narrow AI. Like a tool which combines the skills of Curie, Turing, and Bach, and artificial general intelligence working on a problem would be able to see connections across disciplines that no human could. We want artificial general intelligence to work with people to solve currently intractable multidisciplinary problems, including global challenges such as climate control or climate change, affordable and high quality healthcare, and personalized education. I want to take a second here and show you guys an example of this writing that was done by an artificial intelligence. This was done by OpenAI. So something they accomplished last year. So here is the human written prompt. In a shocking finding, scientists discovered a herd of unicorns living in a remote, previously unexplored valley in the Andes Mountains. Even more surprising to the researchers was the fact that the unicorns spoke perfect English. Now that's just an excerpt of the human writing, which the machine then kind of translated into its own words and said this, which is supposed to be as close to human language as possible in terms of kind of coherence. This was after 10 tries. So here's what the machine wrote, and note how human it does sound. The scientists named the population after their distinctive horn, Ovid's unicorn. These four-horned silver-white unicorns were previously unknown to science. Now, after almost 2 centuries, the mystery of what sparked this odd phenomenon is finally solved. Dr. George Perez, an evolutionary biologist from the University of La Paz, and several companions were exploring the Andes Mountains when they found a small valley with no other animals or humans. Perez noticed that the valley had what appeared to be a natural fountain surrounded by 2 peaks of rock and silver snow. The text goes on, but I would not know that was written by a computer. That sounds so good, and that's just one example of an application that AI can be used for that OpenAI is developing. Here's another example. Artificial general intelligence is more than just the sum of its parts. The idea is that a general artificial intelligence capability will be able to draw on learned skills and combine them in a way that humans would do. For example, an autonomous truck driving through Europe would not only be able to navigate across multiple countries, but would also be able to develop optimal routes using traffic and weather intelligence, converse with clients about their deliveries in the appropriate local language, and coordinate with autonomous warehouses for unloading and loading merchandise. This is, again, just one example, but would be worth a whole heck of a lot of money, and this is the type of skill that something like an OpenAI artificial general intelligence machine would be able to do. Now remember, OpenAI, one of the co-founders of that is Elon Musk, who also is one of the co-founders of this little company called Tesla. So if OpenAI is able to break through this first, that example of kind of trucking and logistics and deliveries, obviously Tesla would be able to use that to their advantage, which would give them a significant lead over the competition who doesn't yet have that artificial general intelligence. Quick little update on Tesla. Some of you guys have already seen this if you're already familiar with the second quarter earnings call, but I haven't touched on it, so I'll briefly touch on it. Chief Technology Officer J.B. Straubel is stepping down from the role, though he will remain an advisor, CEO Elon Musk said on Tesla's second quarter earnings call. The combination of a worse than expected loss and another major management change sent the stock plummeting 11% in late trading. So I did touch on kind of the bad quarter. I just had not touched on the chief technology officer leaving. Straubel says, quote, "I am not disappearing. I just want to make sure people understand it's not some lack of confidence in the company or the team or anything like that. I love the team and I love the company and I always will. Drew and I have worked closely together." Drew's the guy who's going to be replacing him. "Drew and I have worked closely together for many, many years, and I have total confidence in Drew. I am not going anywhere if there's anything I need to do that is helpful to Drew or the whole team." This is a blow to Tesla. This is another high-end kind of executive that's leaving the company, but I mean, to some extent, it almost seems like just kind of old news. I mean, we always have high-end executives and management leaving Tesla, but this one is, he's been around a long time. He's really been instrumental to helping Tesla. So it definitely does hurt Tesla. Do I think it's going to end Tesla or anything of that nature? No, I certainly think that Tesla is on kind of a certain level where it's okay, right? We can have the CTO leave and they'll still be okay, but it does hurt nonetheless. Another update actually just today on Tesla. This is chess here, and the Tesla Arcade just added chess today. And if you're not familiar with the Tesla Arcade, they got a couple games that you can play on the Tesla. This is an example of one, and it's kind of like a version of Mario Kart, and you steer like with the gas pedal and the brake and stuff like that. And I think this is such a fantastic idea that Tesla is putting out. It's one of those things where it kind of just makes sense, because there are a lot of times where you're just sitting in a parking lot, you're waiting for something, you're kind of just hanging out in the car, and why not have a couple games you can play? It's such a good idea and gives you such a competitive advantage over basically all other car companies that don't have something like this. And adding in these little games like this, even if it's not as complex as the games that they're putting in, like with these kind of Mario Kart type games, but just with the simpler games like the asteroids and chess, or if you had something like tic-tac-toe or Pong, I think if there were technology companies that have screen time, if they can give you these options for just simple little games where you can burn 1, 2, 3 minutes, I do think that will give you an edge over the competition, which is one of the things that I wish that Roku did, or like a Netflix. Just have an option for little simple games. You don't have to try to be an Xbox or like a Game Pass or a PS4 or anything like that, but just have a couple simple like your Pong type games, or a tic-tac-toe type game, or a chess or a checkers, little things. So if people just want a few minutes, because sometimes I want to play a minute or two of games, but I don't want to fire up the PS4 or the Xbox, and I just kind of want to play for a minute, just a simple little, like kind of like the types of games you play on your phone, right? Just where you can burn a couple minutes, and then you can watch whatever you want to watch. But nobody else is really doing that. But Tesla is doing it. They're saying, hey, we have people spending a lot of time in this car, and some of it they're just sitting there waiting, in some sort of a parking lot, not doing anything. Why don't we give people the opportunity to play and have fun? And this is one of those things where, when people are deciding what car am I going to buy, things like this matter. So I do like it. I think it's a great idea that they're doing, and I do think it's definitely going to help sales and just continue to expand kind of the difference between buying a Tesla and buying anything else. Having said that, you guys know I personally think that Tesla is still overvalued, even though I love the company. I love Elon Musk. I'm a big fan. At the end of the day, I just have to pay too much for this wonderful company. So at this point in time, I hope I can get a big old drawdown in the stock, and then maybe I'll be interested. But at this point in time, I just can't justify how much I have to pay, even though I like the company. Anyways, guys, that's it for today. Hope you guys have a good one. Oh, this is my portfolio, by the way, for full disclosure, so you can see what I am in, what I am not. And if you guys have any stocks you'd like me to check out, let me know in the comments section. I appreciate all the likes and comments, and make sure you're subscribed to Investomania, brother.